Okay, you're live, ladies.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Just a little bit more this way. Okay.
Come on, refresh, baby, refresh. There we are.
Gotta love Thursday mornings. Time just flies so fast.
Oh, dang it, no, I don't want to do a private message. Share on a page. I should probably take my sweater off for a minute so I can tell in my videos for YouTube that it's a different outfit, different day. That's how I tell.
Hi, Ace.
Hi, Dad.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary, Dad.
I love those pictures you posted.
Oh,
I know, I'm wearing all black too. I've been wearing black lately. Sorry.
we promised they're live. We did just
Yes.
can a bunch of shows in advance.
My hair's usually kind of different. Yesterday I had a bow.
That's right. The bow that kept making me confused.
I wanted to throw you off. That's the only reason I did it. Good morning, Sandra.
Morning, Sandra.
All right, we ready?
Yep. Welcome to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer Blackwell.
And I'm Teresa Straub.
We are here live on your favorite radio stations, Z93 and Outlaw Country. And we have quite a few people streaming live at monstermediayuma.com. That's the way to do it. Maybe you're in a spot, you're in a building, you can't pick up our signal. I know we have a couple of those, but you still want to listen to the show. Well, monstermediayuma.com, click the Listen Live button, and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed is another way.
Yes, and we encourage you to follow us on Facebook Live. It's just a way to get a behind the scenes of what goes on when Z93, Outlaw Country, and MonsterMediaYuma.com all go to commercial break. Jennifer and I stay live the entire hour, and we love to see all of your comments and any questions you may have for any of our guests. It's a way for you to interact with the show, and we love to let you spend your mornings with us.
That's right. Good morning, Gilbert and Wanda and Leslie and Sandra. And we have a note here. Good morning. You ladies should feature upcoming pianist Colt Supa, especially since his debut album comes out March 24th. Have him get in touch with us, please.
Yeah, it says Yuma's very own internationally known musician. Well, if you can get us his contact information or have him get a hold of us, we'd be happy to do so.
And that's the cool thing about our local monster. Teresa puts all that together. She works with the local artists, and we get the audio to feature and all the information that goes on our website.
Yeah.
And some people say, well, I'm an instrumentalist, or I do this, I do that.
That's okay.
As long as it's original, that qualifies.
It does. And you know what? We love to mix it up. We have so many talented musicians here in the area, and you know, sometimes you get the same people that are making the music, which we love, and I will love to feature all the time, but we get new artists and new musicians like we're going to be featuring next week, and I'm super excited. She's a super talented 16-year-old from right here in Yuma, and I'll go ahead and say it right now. Her name is Mallory Lemon, and she's got a fantastic voice. I love to see the talent coming out of these young adults, really, because they're the future of the music community here in the Yuma area.
They sure are, and you know, a lot of times these individuals come from musical families too.
Oh yeah.
So you have these generations of the talent that's just passed down. That was not the case in mine. They provided other talents that were passed on to me.
You do have a lot. Hey, you're very talented, so don't cut yourself short.
But not musically.
Well, that's okay. You make up for it in other
I work in
areas.
radio.
Yes.
That's the service I provide.
And you can carry it too. You can hold a note pretty well.
Not very well.
I've heard you humming, and at least the hum is on tune, so I can handle that, because there's some people out there that can't even do that.
All right, well, I blame my Shauna, my cousin Shauna.
My Shauna.
Who is 25 days older than me, because she told me in 4th grade choir I could not sing. And I took that to heart, and I never sang again.
You probably, if you just warmed up and actually sang, you probably could do it.
I probably have a phenomenal voice that no one will ever hear.
Oh, come on.
Other than happy birthday.
Your husband, when you're singing in the shower?
I don't sing in the shower.
What?
But I apparently sing the wrong words to 80s music when we are in the car sometimes.
That's okay.
We're supposed to. I think that's the rule.
It sounds like it's right? It's right to you. Who cares?
Today is February 22nd, and since I did mention the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed, I want to let everyone know that there is a benefit fundraiser taking place today at FTS. They're located at 1845 South Arizona Avenue, It's the Franklin's Tire location. A lot of
Yeah.
people still know it by that name, but Dan and the wonderful folks over there are providing a lunch today for the Rivera family, and it will be, again, 11 to 1. It's $6 per person. That gets you a grilled chicken dinner with all the trimmings. You can also do takeout if you're not able to eat at the event, but they will have seating available if you would like to enjoy it there. This is for Maria Rivera. She is a mother of 5, and she's a heart transplant recipient, and she needs help. Right now, she's experiencing possible rejection.
Aw.
She may need a new heart and a lung transplant also. So let's please, if you're able to get down there, enjoy lunch. Every little bit will help. And she recently lost a son too, so they're still just reeling from that tragic loss. So, please keep that family in your thoughts and prayers. And we want to thank the many volunteers, their workers in name only. That's the name of the group, Clyde Gill and his buddies, who help coordinate these great events to help certain families out and organizations financially during times of need. Again, that's today from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they will have, it's not the typical Friday meal where there are only 50 available.
Yeah.
They will have more. So if you would perhaps like to buy lunch for your staff, I think it's a good way to say thank you and help out.
Exactly. We have another quick reminder here. Going on right now, there is the yearly maintenance that takes place over at Telegraph Pass Hiking Trail. We want to let you guys know that there is large equipment. They will be pouring concrete today and tomorrow. So the hiking trail at Telegraph Pass is closed. Close to not even, I know that some people use the side path, the goat path or whatever it may be. That whole Telegraph Pass area is closed for the next 2 days because there are workers up there with large equipment. And this is something they do every year to maintain that road so that people can go up and maintain the towers and the things up at the top, which is most important about Telegraph Pass. But also it keeps it safe for you guys who use the hiking trail on a regular basis. So do them a favor, stay out of their way for the next 2 days, and Telegraph Pass is closed.
It's been a tower location for broadcast. We also have some of the emergency agencies.
Exactly.
For law enforcement and military. They have a lot of towers and transmitters located up there long before it was a popular walking and running trail.
Yeah, definitely.
So, again, let's please be respectful of that and avoid the area. You can head back over on Saturday to get your workout in. Otherwise, we have a bunch of spots where you can still get in your activity.
Yeah.
The West Wetlands, we have trails down there, all the way over to the East Wetlands. And Smucker Park is still a popular location. It's got that incline if you really want to get a workout in.
Just go backwards.
Right.
I
was going to say walk backwards?
No, take the trail backwards if you're going to Smucker. And you want that incline, that you have to walk it the other way, otherwise you're going downhill. But like you said, there is a lot of areas in the community. I know I have frequented the path that goes along the West Wetlands down to the East Wetlands and down towards the Pack, and I love that path. It's a beautiful path. They've done a lot to restore that area, so definitely take advantage of those other areas while they work on Telegraph Pass.
Well, we mentioned it is February 22nd, and we have, coming up a little bit later in the show, Melanie from Avanti Skin Centers of Yuma will be stopping by.
Yay!
And she is always sharing some of the new techniques or different trendy things that they're doing down there to help with skincare, rejuvenation, and we all want to look younger and better.
And it's been a couple months since we had her in. I know it was still warm when we had her in last time, so maybe she can give us some tips on this dry skin we have with the cooler weather lately.
Maybe she can. And then coming up after Melanie, we have comedian Paul Rodriguez. He will be here Saturday for the comedy show at the Civic Center. This is for Saguaro Foundation.
Yes.
But I see we are going to do birthdays right now. We just had a birthday shout out pop up on the Facebook Live feed.
I see that.
Let's go down our list. We want to wish a happy birthday to Martin Torres from his mom, Veronica Medina. He is 26 years old today, and she said he's the best thing that ever happened to me. I love him.
Aww.
Happy birthday to him. Also, Brad says smack. Brad is a friend of ours at the station. He's out of the Phoenix area. We carried his sports programming for years. And
Yeah.
we've had the opportunity to meet him at some of the Diamondback games. So he is celebrating a birthday along with longtime friend Diane Peterson. Jolie Bingham Taylor. Nadia Moe is one of our local educators here in the community. Happy birthday to Nadia. My uncle, Rodney Betzer, and Savannah Cushman also celebrating a birthday.
Well, happy birthday to you. And all these birthdays are brought to you courtesy of Firehouse Subs.
That's right. If you have a birthday shout out and you would like to have us included in our little daily shout outs, go ahead and go to monstermediayuma.com. click on the Today in Yuma page, and we have an entry form there where you can send us the information about our special birthday boys or girls, regardless of the age. You
Exactly.
don't have to tell us the age.
And it can be your own birthday, too.
It can. Again, no shame in that. We do need to know the actual date, though.
Yes,
so
very important.
please include that in the information. And each week, all of the entries will be thrown in a hat, and we'll select one winner who will receive a medium sub, drink, chips, and a dessert from Firehouse Subs. And donated funds to the Firehouse Public Safety Foundation provide free equipment, training, and to support our hometown hero. So thank you all in the community for helping out, and Firehouse Subs for being our birthday shout-out sponsor.
Yes, and thank you to Veronica for using our Facebook Live platform. It's just as easy as that. She posted it right there. We're able to see it and put it on air right away. We want to say good morning to Larry Ziegler. He says good morning from Houston, Texas. He's on vacation.
He is, and I saw him post yesterday. It had officially started.
Good for you, Larry. Enjoy it. And Jay Worm, he says, good morning, Jen and Teresa. You wanted to thank myself and my husband, Kevin, for attending his wedding for him and his beautiful bride. She was the most beautiful bride.
She was pretty. And he's a handsome fellow,
He
too,
was.
so.
He cleans up well. He definitely cleans up well. No, we had a blast, and, it was actually catered by one of our Foodylicious sponsors, the 251 Twisted Kitchen, and it was fantastic.
It's such good food.
Such good food.
A reminder, you can get your entries in for tomorrow's drawing.
Yes.
Foodylicious Janice, she's under the weather. We hope she's back and back to her usual self by tomorrow because she cooks for us. And go to...
But if not, it's okay. She can keep her germs.
Exactly. We have. There's that fine line between wanting something to eat and not getting the flu. And I would rather not have the flu.
Exactly.
We can find food elsewhere.
But either way, even if she's not here, we'll still do the drawing for her weekly drawing that she does for 251 Twisted Kitchen. And you can still get in on that by just going to monstermediayuma.com, clicking on the Foodylicious tab, and there you'll find an entry form, and we'll do that drawing at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
That's right, and we'll announce it on the show.
Yep.
Now, February 22nd is also a very special day in my family because we celebrate 2 anniversaries.
Yes.
My parents were married 49 years ago today.
Fantastic.
And my brother Jason and his wife Tanil are celebrating their 5th anniversary today. I guess they figured it was kind of a lucky date.
Aww.
But for my mom and dad, they were young. They were 17 and 18, but in 1969, those ages were a little different. I think you were more prepared for the world.
Yeah.
But looking back at what they did and what they accomplished, I don't know that my child right now is 20.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not ready for that milestone in his life. My nephew is 22 and he's getting married later this year, and I think I was 21 when I got married. But again, thinking back, it's like, oh my goodness, we were little. Yes. I'm like,
we were youngins.
Oh my goodness, I was barely driving. But my mom and dad first met when they were 11 and 12, and my dad was working at the service station my grandpa managed.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as my dad was old enough to stand on a bucket and wash windows, he was always out there doing something. And he's got this really analytical mind, so he'd like to tinker with things, and it was the perfect field for him to get into.
Uh-huh.
And my mom came to buy a soda out of the machine, and he thought she was cute. Well, her family moved out of town. They lived in California and then Oregon, and she didn't move back until 1968. I think that would have been her senior year in high school.
Yeah.
And it was November. They got married in February. So a few months later.
I think it's really neat. It says something about that era because I know my grandparents, when on my mom's side, when they met, they were really young too. My nana thought them met each other. I believe my grandma said when her 8th grade graduation, and then they stayed together their whole entire lives. I mean, it says something about that era. But I know your dad gave you homework, and you mentioned it on Facebook the other day. But I love that you know that history because it often gets lost. And you were tasked with something.
Yeah, one of my aunts is putting together the family history for her side of the family.
Yeah.
And we've got a great-grandma. There's a published book. It's called Circle of 16 because my great-grandma Hazel was one of 16 children.
Wow.
So we have that in print, and that gives you the great genealogical breakdown of everything going back really far. It's got the family crest from England in the 1600s. There's a breakdown. Well, but it didn't really go into a lot of detail about my grandma Vi and my grandpa Buck, my dad's parents.
Yeah. So
my Aunt Peggy is doing this, and she's 89 now. She goes, I don't know how much time I have left. So she wants to enlist the help of each of the separate little families to provide her with the family history and photos.
Yeah.
So my dad reached out to me. He said, I know you don't have enough going on in your life, so you want to help me with this, which means just do it. But I've been having to, I've been messaging all my siblings and my dad.
But it's fun.
Oh, it is, and I do know some of the information anyway. But I forgot how old they were when they met, and then he said, "Now don't forget to make sure you share our first date." I said, "I don't remember that." Well, then he told me, and it came back to me. I only found this out within the last year when my parents went out on the first official date when she was 17. She said, "I want to take you to meet my mom," and my mom passed away my mom was 10. So she took him to the cemetery in Pima, Arizona to meet her mother.
Oh, lovely first date. Lovely
Okay,
first
who
date.
can top that? So
I
there you
cannot
go.
top that. Let us know on Facebook Live if you can top that.
But today would have been their 49th anniversary.
Oh, well, happy
and
anniversary.
So sweet, and my parents are just absolutely amazing. So if anyone has at least even half the love that they did, you're pretty fortunate.
Definitely.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Then we have some more information about this date to share with you. I know a lot of people are big fans of one of the things we're going to talk about. Plus, stay tuned because we will have a pair of comedy tickets for the Saguaro Foundation show, their benefit comedy night this Saturday featuring Paul Rodriguez. Again, he's calling later in the show. It's Today in Yuma. We'll be back after the break. The show is brought to you by Classic Accounting. They have 30 years of experience and knowledge to benefit you. They have 2 locations to serve you in Yuma and in the foothills. Call to schedule your appointment today at 343-1040.
And Sprague Sports, try your gun out before you buy it on 10 lanes of controlled environment at Yuma's only indoor shooting range at Sprague's on 32nd Street next to Lowe's.
I have 50 on the brain because Anita's in-laws have been married 50 years.
That
now.
is
Yeah,
true.
anniversaries. And quick refrigeration, tomorrow is Free Filter Friday. If you haven't taken advantage of this yet, you need to. Take your old air filter down to 190 West 10th Street, and they will give you a brand new standard 1-inch air filter. Again, that's Quick Refrigeration's Free Filter Friday tomorrow.
And our friends over at Advocate Pest and Wildlife Services are locally owned and have been providing pest control services in the Yuma area for over 20 years. They have a pretty cool giveaway that they announced yesterday.
Air tickets. Go to their Facebook, their Instagram, their Snapchat, and check it out. I love the video.
Yes, get
The
all the
video's
details
awesome.
and watch the video because Sandra and Brittany are super cute.
All right, this is Today in Yuma on Z93 Outlaw Country, Monster Media, Yuma.com. We'll be back after the break. Christella. So, who is sick? I'm supposed to do the twins cake smash today. And they're getting shots. I go, are you sure you want to do that?
Oh, bless them.
But she was at the ER with her grandma last night too.
Aw.
She takes care of her.
No, I love that you're doing that because that thing that you're doing for your dad and
I was working on it last night and just like sitting there because for my mom's service I reached out to my aunt, and that's how I found out that she's the one that introduced my parents when Mom moved back to town.
Aw.
She's like, she was the prettiest blonde with the sweetest smile, and then she introduced her to other people, and one of those was my dad. So
Aw, that's so cute. Well, and it gives you a chance to reminisce on all those happy things.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It brings me back to the movie Coco. I love that movie. It's coming out.
I haven't
next week.
seen it.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it, so I'll let you borrow it.
I just remember my dad talking about when he met my mom. And they were in Vietnam.
is that where they met?
Mhm.
Oh wow.
So he's like, I think they had just either come back from Vietnam or they were still in Vietnam. I can't remember fully. I just remember it was right after she was in Vietnam because she lost a lot of weight there.
Yeah.
And so she had gotten down to the smallest size she had ever been, and she was really dark. So she popped her head around the corner in one of the facilities, and he looked at her, and who is this woman? And
Yeah.
that's all it took.
It was your mom.
It was my mom. She almost looked emaciated.
Really?
Yeah. My mom's got like big bone structure,
Yeah.
you know, and I think at that time she was probably down to like 145. That's
Tall too.
that's not a good weight for her.
Did you say her mom is tall?
She's
Taller than me. Not well.
Mom's not very tall.
She was five. She's 5'5". I guess 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah.
But she's got I have small bones. My mom has like Indian bones. She's got big bones. So she was too thin.
Some people don't, you know, they don't look very good if they just get too thin. It just doesn't fit them. Never had that experience in my life.
I did, and I didn't know until I looked back on pictures. It's because I was just tall and skinny my whole life. My metabolism was just so fast, and I look back at those pictures, and I'm like, and it's not for lack of like.
I have to do a double take because it doesn't look like you.
I know.
I didn't recognize her. She showed me a picture when I first started working there.
I love food just as much as I loved it today. My metabolism was so fast that I never could put on. I could never put on weight, even if
relate.
I tried.
I understand that. I was thought that like that for. Like I told you, when I graduated high school, I wasn't even 100 pounds.
Ugh. I was like 115 my whole life until I got.
But I'm not tall either. You're
But
tall.
I was tall.
I'm not.
Tall.
You know, I'm lucky to hit 5'3". Yes.
All right, we ready?
Yep. Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We are here live on Z93 Outlaw Country and MonsterMediaYuma.com, plus the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. And today is February 22nd. It is National California Day.
I like that.
And there are neighbors to the west. A lot of people are big fans, heading on over there for the many sporting events that they have. The beach.
The
I
beach.
think
That's
that's
my
one
favorite
of the
part.
one of the most common summertime vacations. For more than a century, Spanish missionaries settled California. Manifest Destiny and the Mexican-American War would play a pivotal role in making California a U.S. territory. Under the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, Mexico sold California, along with its territories north of the Rio Grande, for $15 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I wonder, based on today's, what that would end up being. Probably a little bit different. Now, while many think of sunny beaches and oranges, California has a very diverse climate. I know it gets pretty cold up in the northern part. I have friends up there that are often talking about snow. And we can't overlook, like I said, Northern California, their wine country. A lot of people like to make that trip up there. You and I went to San Jose in 2015, and that was a different experience. We would have liked to have had a little more time. I wanted to go to, it was a work trip too.
Not in a bad way. I know, Anita's like, what? You made it sound like it was bad. We had a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
You wish you had more time.
It was short, and
It was.
I wanted to go see Alcatraz and that one museum, the Winchester Museum.
Oh, that's right.
And we it was cool. The place we stayed at, what was what house?
Oh, goodness.
The Hayes House.
Yes.
And they
The haunted house?
It was haunted.
Yeah, it was haunted. The lady would hold seances in the second story. Teresa was just
they made me
So
go on
geeked out.
They made me go on the tour at nighttime.
I would love that.
Yeah, it was. It's because I do believe in spirits. I do believe in all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you get those weird feelings.
Or the sense in the air.
Yes, and so taking the ghost tour at nighttime, I was just like, okay, this is really eking me out. And it was really fun though. It was really cool. And yes, I was afraid to be the first in line. I'm not gonna lie.
I said, I'm not scared. Let me go. But it had low ceilings and little tiny weird doors. And
Yeah,
we
doors that were locked that they said they never opened. For what reason, I don't know.
Well, they had purpose at the time.
And it did. I mean, it was this huge, grand home, and the original home burnt down, so they rebuilt it. But that was even still a number of years ago.
Yeah.
And I ended up buying. Of course, I'm on my phone trying to Google information about it.
Is it
I
Dolce
couldn't-
Hines, I think? I'm going to look it up now. 'cause
I
it's
don't
gonna drive me
recall.
nuts.
I'll
It's
have
gonna
to
drive me nuts unless I
find
figure
that
it
book
out.
because I paid $30 for it in the book shop, the gift shop. But I couldn't find a lot of information about it at the time. And it's neat to have been there, but again, we didn't have a lot of time. And we were still, I think, an hour away from Alcatraz, at least from San Francisco.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we had no vehicle, so it was really. Although we would have loved to go and seen that stuff, it was.
Oh, it was, I don't know that it was 6 miles from the airport to our hotel, and it was $50. So
Yeah.
I'm like, we're not going anywhere. We are
Nope,
staying
we're
here.
staying here.
And Uber and Lyft didn't exist.
Yes, well, now that we know all these things, and we figured out how to
you
strategize
didn't take the,
a little better.
the public transit?
No, it was, the hotel was kind of isolated a little bit.
And we were there for a conference. We really didn't have.
It was radio convergence.
Yeah, we didn't have much time to do it. But
Girls.
definitely.
Girls.
How about women?
Girls. We're going to teach you something about planning. We're not going to go somewhere and not take advantage of the natural environments or things that are there for us to be able to participate in. So from this point on, as business manager for Monster Media,
You're going to give us
take
time?
these trips.
You're gonna give
We're
us
gonna
time?
make sure that we plan accordingly.
You're gonna make
Sounds
sure
good
we
to
go.
me.
You're gonna let us leave for another trip together,
Yes.
and you're gonna go with us too.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's just like, we're all going. We're shutting down shop so we could do this. But, we were able to take advantage of the history that was there for that building. I mean, like we said, we didn't have much time, but there was a lot of history in that building. So definitely enjoyed
Well,
that
I
one.
think it's cool was we were in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, that's where it all started.
The first time I went to that conference, I actually went with our boss man, and they actually were holding the conference right there at the Google headquarters. So I got to tour the Google
cool.
offices. You kind of get to walk around in there. That was really cool.
That would have been pretty neat. I didn't want to fly at that time,
Yes.
but I got over that.
So you made me have a panic attack by myself. I had the big planes from Phoenix to California was fine. It was the little plane from Yuma to Phoenix. I hadn't been on a plane in a very long time, and I did. I shut my eyes, put my headphones in, and before I was right as you're getting to the top and you're getting to altitude, I was like, okay, we're finally level and don't have that panic that I did. It was finally going away. Well, then we start descending, and I'm like, oh my goodness, can't they just give me a break? But
No, 'cause
I got over it, and the bigger plane was totally
Look at your
fine.
arm up. You have a little piece of paper here on your elbow.
Is it driving you nuts?
Yeah, because it looks like the little icon that shows that I have a text on my phone. It's the same shape as that. That's weird.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Anyway, because your plane ride was a little challenging, maybe you needed to take part in this next National Day, which is National Margarita Day.
I'm not gonna lie, I may have. At 9 o'clock in the morning because I was freaking out.
Well, there are many different stories and myths beginning as early as 1938 as to how and when the margarita was created. In December 1953, an issue of Esquire magazine, the margarita cocktail was the drink of the month, and it was further popularized in 1977 by the release of what song?
Margaritaville.
There you go, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
You know what? I enjoy a good margarita. I'm not gonna lie.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I
On
don't.
the rocks.
I don't like margaritas.
What about
It's tequila. I like tequila.
I don't like tequila.
what about a nice bowl of chili
Yes.
on a cold day?
Yes.
See, I think more people. Well, I don't know. More people might enjoy margaritas versus chili.
I think it's probably equal.
What if you had them together?
Why not?
Why not? I agree. Good combination.
Who says you can't? In Spanish, chili refers to chili pepper, and carne means meat. So, chili is most commonly made up of tomatoes, beans, chili peppers, meat, garlic, onions, and cumin. And there are many variations of the basic chili as we experienced out at Arizona Western College at the Chili Cook-Off in the fall. A lot of interesting things. There was some bison, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I took part in that, and I rarely try new things.
We
You did so
tried
well.
everything.
We did.
We tried everything, and it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
Just different.
And it was good, though. It was a nice, cool day, too.
Yes.
And that's the perfect weather for chili.
Definitely.
My mom had a version of what she called her cheater chili, and I love it. I don't make it often enough. I probably should make it a little bit more.
Well, why not take advantage of this cooler weather and make your family some chili?
Do you remember your
should.
first chili?
My first chili that I made?
The
Or-
first bowl of chili you ever had? I remember my
I-
first
I
chili.
I don't.
I have to
How
give
do
a
you-
shout out
you don't?
because it's one of those. It was so different than what I was used to consuming within our household,
Ah.
and so I remember going to my friend's house, Michelle Shelton. Shout out to Michelle. Her father, Doug Shelton, used to be a driver for Greyhound Bus Lines, and he would drive like the
Yeah.
stars. He drove Barry Manilow and if you could think of it, he's probably driven that star. So I was always enamored coming over to his house because he had the wall of stars.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, oh, we were just having a nice conversation. She's like, oh, my dad's making chili. And I'm like, what's chili? I'd never had chili. So she took me into the kitchen. I could even see the white stove top, the silver pot that it was cooking on. And I remember, stirring the pot and tasting it for the first time and thinking, this is heavenly. And why have we never had this at home? So I remember my first bowl of chili.
Well, my mom made really good her cheater chili, and that was just a cheater chili because she used, she would add ground beef to the, I'm trying to think of the just regular ranch beans. And then she would add stewed tomatoes and El Pato sauce and other things in there too. But she just said it was cheater chili because she wasn't making like all the stuff from scratch. But my dad makes a phenomenal pot of chili beans, which I do like, which it's separate. It's not as thick as the chili.
Right.
All right,
Oh, I gotcha.
It's time to take a quick break right now here on Today in Yuma on Z93 Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com. The show is brought to you by Classic Accounting. They have 30 years of experience and knowledge to benefit you. Ask about their advanced program. You can get up to a $2,500 advance while your tax refund processes. No additional fees or APR cost if you use the program. Give them a call today at 343-1040.
And Sprague Sports, visit their partner location, Truckmates, Yuma's home for snug top shells and lids, Linex spray and bed liners, and 3M window tinting. You can find them right next to Sprague's on 32nd Street next to Lowe's.
And quick refrigeration. Stop by tomorrow because it is Free Filter Friday. Their program in honor of Cat Shirt Friday. Take your old air filter by 190 West 10th Street and they will give you a brand new free 1-inch standard air filter. Again, that's 190 West 10th Street for Free Filter Friday.
And Advocate Pest and Wildlife Services offers wildlife control like feral cat trapping, snake and skunk relocation, and pigeon extraction. And they have a pretty cool giveaway going on right now. Go follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
It's Today in Yuma. We'll be back after the break on Z93 Outlaw Country at MonsterMediaYuma.com. Melanie here yet?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay, I didn't know.
She's in but I have the person that has Paul, but it's still super early. I'm going to talk to her right now.
You want me to see if she wants to come and hang around and listen? That's fine.
See, and I'll see what she says. Okay, sorry about that. We're shorthanded today, and we're live on air right now. So, and you said you have Paul on the line already? Oh, okay. Jen, do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait till 9:45? Give me 1 second here.
Because he's doing.
Do you want to do
we're
it now?
Gonna have him
yeah,
first,
if we
but-
can do it now, then that would be great.
Well, you can come in here, or yeah,
Okay.
in here you'll have to. In here you'd have to wear the headphones, but out here you can just hear it normally. Okay, do you want me to turn it up a little bit for you? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And what are we going to talk about?
Something on there or what? She's getting him on the line, so I'm on hold.
The great holding thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay.
She's getting him on the line right now.
Is that line one?
Hi, Paul. This is Teresa. Hey, we're coming back from break in about 1 minute, so you'll be live with Jennifer and I in about a minute. Okay, hang on 1 sec.
Huh?
You can't talk. Well,
I took them off right now, but I'm going to take them off of hold. That way we can just go straight to this call. Okay. Okay, 30 seconds. What's that? It's kind of chilly for us. It's chilly for Yuma. Bring a jacket, definitely. Okay, hold on 1 sec, okay?
that looks ominous.
Huh?
Her list.
That's a nice list.
That's quite an extensive list, too.
All right, we ready?
Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We are here live on Z93, Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com, and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. Now, our next guest, we're actually going to have Paul Rodriguez trade places with Melanie from Avanti Skin Center because he is on the phone now.
Good morning, Paul. You're live on air.
Am I the 13th caller?
It's caller 832 to win the tickets to the comedy night this Saturday.
Well, it's going to be a good night. I haven't been to Yuma in a while.
Well, we are looking forward to having you come back here. Now, Paul, you are going to be performing with some other gentlemen on Saturday. It's the Saguaro Foundation's benefit comedy night at the Yuma Civic Center. And
Yes.
What types of things could we expect to see if we're out in the crowd?
Well, it's a family show. You know, we're going to keep the PG and bring anybody over 13. It should work. And I have Jerry Garcia, not the guy from the Grateful Dead, but he's grateful to be there. And we have Jose Sepulveda and a couple of other young comics that you're going to be hearing a lot about.
So, it's nice. It's nice that you're listing these other ones because I know that they were mentioning that we have Rene Garcia and Manny Maldonado as well. Are you familiar with them?
Yes, of course. Manny Maldonado. I think there's going to be like 6. We're all going to do a minute apiece, and then we're going to let the audience come up on stage. Yeah, it's going to be a fun show. These guys that I work with have, they're the next generation, I think, of funny comedians coming up, or Latino comedians anyway. And I think you won't be surprised how a good day.
Now, Paul, I see that you have been active in your profession for quite a while, since around 1983. I remember a lot of your work, but even as early as DC Cab, that was one of my favorite movies back then. But how has
I'm an old guy.
you're not an old guy. You know what? Laughing keeps you young. So you're in the
Comedy for the AARP now.
Comedy's what?
I do comedy for the AARP, you know.
Hey, but everyone likes to laugh. That's okay.
You know, I'm so old that now I date girls on Ancestry. That's my new laugh.
Well, if that's an example of what we're in for Saturday, then we're certainly all going to be laughing. I love that you're keeping it PG, so it is family friendly.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, I'm no prude, but there's a time and a place for everything. And when we're doing shows out there for benefit, especially, we want to make sure that Grandma's not embarrassed by hearing any off-color jokes. So my boys are going to be on their best behavior, and it's not going to be dull. It's going to be it's with the imagination sort of thing. But I got great hopes to be able to go down there to Yuma and get away from the cold here.
Well, and this isn't your first time to Yuma.
Oh no! I've been to Yuma many times. Of course, I was in the show business then. I was in the gardening business. I was a migrant farm worker. So you guys probably didn't notice because I was on my knees. But that's what my parents did, and they were migrant farm workers. They traveled around and harvesting the crops, and now I'm still traveling around and I'm harvesting a different kind of crop.
Well, this weekend we're also featuring our lettuce festival for 2018 because Yuma is the winter vegetable capital of the world. bring the family out.
Yeah, I'm going to be there for the festival. I'm going to be there for the Milagro Beanfield Festival. You name it, I'll be there.
Well, you can still get tickets to the comedy show. It's this Saturday, and the proceeds benefit Saguaro Foundation and their programs. Tickets are just $25 up to $45 if you want the VIP. A great value, and you'd have the opportunity to meet Paul Rodriguez, the man himself. That's who we're speaking to right now.
Remember, it's a benefit. It's a great foundation. They do a lot of good work, and I hope everybody there gets behind it. We're going to be there doing our best, and it's always a pleasure to go back to Yuma. It's a place that has a special resonance for all of us Chicanos. It's a place where Cesar Chavez passed on, and we're very happy to go back there.
And you mentioned that you were excited to come to Yuma to warm up a little bit. It's been a little chilly here, so definitely you're going to want to bring your jacket.
Oh, you don't know chili. I know chili. Days ago, that's chili.
Yeah.
Right here, I'm talking to you from my home in Los Angeles. right now we're about a real balmy 51 or 52 around there. And I know it's got to be a cold day for people in Yuma. Is like in the low 70s, you know.
Well, we were 62 yesterday, so that's why it's like the icy cold tundra here for us right now.
Well, I can't believe it. People are putting on their jackets, their parkas for 62 weather.
Well, because you have traveled considerably, we'll have a lot of our winter visitors from up north and even in Canada that will be wearing jackets with shorts and flip-flops. So
All right, you Canadian geese. The show's in English.
It's in English?
All you from Canada, come and see us.
That's right. Again, it's a family show. I love that you are keeping it PG, so we can take our kids too. You know, I want to take my son. He's not a little one anymore, but you know, I grew up with your comedy, and that's something I would like to pass on to him also, Paul.
Thank you. You know, what I'm saying is that, you know, I'm a grandfather now, and some young comics, they like to use a lot of profanity. I'm no prude. I guess there's a time and a place for that sort of thing. But especially on a benefit situation where you're going to invite the families out there, you got to make sure that the only four-letter words we use are golf. You know,
Golf.
You know, we're going to keep it family.
We do love that. Our show is about positivity and lifting people up. And one of the things we have discussed here off the show, too, is that a lot of times these comedians and even our celebrities in the limelight will use that profanity. And I think you can be far more clever and find other words to use and still get your point across, but come off a little more intellectual.
I think so. You know, I should announce it here for the first time. I have a 1-hour special coming out. It'll be out on all the networks, hopefully, and then pay-per-view and all of that. And catch it. It's called Paul Rodriguez #MeToo.
#MeToo.
I love that.
Awesome.
Well,
it should be out on May 1st.
Okay, we will be watching for it so we can share it with our listeners and our viewers.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
All right, we look forward to seeing you on Saturday night, Paul, at the Civic Center. Don't forget, you can still get your tickets. Doors open at 6, and the show will be at 7. General admission tickets are $25. Again, a wonderful cause. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to talk with us today.
My pleasure, and I'll see all of you all there. Bring Grandma. It's okay.
All right.
All right, sounds good, Paul. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Our guest today, Paul Rodriguez, you know, is such a talented actor and comedian. Again, his list of just background experiences. He does voice work. There have been the movies, the TV shows, and the comedy shows, everything for just a number of years. So looking forward to seeing him.
Yep, and again, you can still get your tickets. All you need to do is go to YumaShowTickets.com, and you can get your tickets there, or you can go to the Saguaro Foundation offices right there on 4th Avenue and get your tickets. And like you said, there's general admission starting at $25, and they go all the way up to $45 for VIP.
All right, it's time for a quick break, and then we will be bringing Melanie Chung in from Avanti Skin Centers of Yuma, and she's going to talk about some stuff today I don't know how to pronounce, so I will leave that to her. But if you have any questions, she's going to be sharing a lot of great information with us after the break here on Today in Yuma.
And we should have printed out a picture of Paul so we could take a selfie with it.
Come on in.
Oh, she's got a little one. We'll do it later.
Well, Carl,
Yeah, you don't have to do a picture.
Carl, Mr. Yuma, I think he forgot that we forgot who he is, so he's sitting in the picture we took with the big head.
And I'm doing a different picture. Is that my coffee?
No, it's mine. Do you want to grab yours?
Oh, well, I can't talk.
Did you bring it? Oh, it's on the floor.
I drank that tea and I'm like, really, feels like I had coffee. Hi guys.
Hi, how are you?
I'm coming off a major catastrophe today.
Oh no.
No water in my house. Water in the hose, water in the guest house. I thought, well, I could take a shower outside. And the city people are like,
really
I can't go in
cold.
your house. I can't turn on that knob. I'm like, what can you do? We can see if it works.
It would be really cold to be outside taking a shower today.
Oh, it was cold. So
Larry says take a selfie with the phone.
We should do that. That's funny.
how are you guys doing?
Good.
Did you see my Sam?
I did. Third place, right?
Third place,
For
gassed
YC?
out with them Mountain Boys, you know. But he did really good. I'm real proud of him. They didn't.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they all
He was
went
number one
so far
seed,
this
but
year.
he just gas, and then he had to fight his way up for third. So I said, "Are you happy?" He goes, "I'm happy." I'm like, "Good."
I mean, that's still a big accomplishment. There's so much competition out there.
Yeah, and for the big boys, the 190, or well, he was down to 182 by then, but 182, I mean, they were, it's like 2 men out there, bro. I felt like gladiator days. And I'm here, you're like, "Don't hurt my baby."
We've all talked that because we're wrestling.
Yes.
I don't even know I'm doing it until I see the videos. I'm like, "Hey, here, I filmed your I call it a fight," and the whole team laughs at me and the coaches. It's not a fight, it's a match.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, who you fighting next?" And he goes, "Mom, you tell you from."
It's not MMA, Mom.
No, and I don't want it to be.
To you, it's like MMA because you're watching
I got
the video.
escorted out by a cop on the Brady Jones. He won the Brady Jones internet, and he won the champion on that. And then this kid was being dirty playing and poked him in the eye and kneed him in the face. I was on that mat, and it happened to be a dedication to all the cops for Brad Jones that died. And so he escorted me out, and I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna say anything." I didn't even know I was on the mat. I was yelling and screaming. And then he walked me around. He goes, "It's okay, I have family." And then he goes, "I'm gonna take you to your son." So Sam turns around after the match. I'm behind the table with the referees. He's like, "I'm okay, Mom."
Yeah, but it's your baby. You
I know.
gotta be mom.
One of those.
But how weird, we're talking wrestling, and Coach Welsing just popped up with a message. They have a live video or that they want to share.
Oh,
To try and
awesome.
get their kids to nationals.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's what it's for. So, but see, we talk wrestling and it pops up.
Yeah, it's in the air. Yeah, that wrestling though. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's oh, I hear ya.
And they're like, they were scouting.
I was watching some of your live videos that you had done because I was also watching Laura's for Drew.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, wait, I see Melanie over there. And that's the thing. You get out there and you just want to cheer on all of the kids too.
Oh yeah, Drew loves me. Drew's like another one of my
15
kids.
seconds.
And I would call them all by the nicknames they have for each other.
Oh, I
And
know.
I'm probably like weird doing
No,
so.
they
but
love
that's
it. They
how I know
love
them.
it. That's what I know. They love the support. Mrs. Chunk, you ripped my neck. Do you think it's broken? No, you're fine. You walking? You're a nurse. Yeah, you get put right there like medic. Okay, I'm gonna mash you right here.
Right, we ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go.
Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa. And we're back.
That's right. Now, we want to clarify, doors open at 6 and the meet and greet for Paul Rodriguez starts at 7 and the show will start at 8 for the actual comedy night.
Yes.
So I want to make sure that information is clear.
Yeah, they have a lot of giveaways and raffles that they're going to be doing. So they're opening the doors early so that way you can get in, get your raffle prize, your raffle tickets, so you can get a chance to win some prizes.
All right, next up with us in the studio, we have Melanie from Avanti Skin Centers of Yuma. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, girls.
This microphone is
Has a
She's
life of
like-
its own.
I got it. I got a loud voice. I got it. We're under control here.
All right, now
That's the epitome of this morning with things going around. Anyway.
I said that you were going to be sharing information about some things I don't know how to pronounce.
I heard that. I was trying to listen to the Paul Rodriguez thing, and then I heard you say that, and I said, "Oh yeah, okay, all right, let's go."
Well, I just figured out the disport. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that,
we have her trained on that one. Let's try another.
Okay, and we do have a Disport challenge coming up. Yuma is one of the few that haven't used Disport as much as Botox as neuromodulators or let me go say it's botulism bound with lactose versus Botox, which is botulism bound with beef. So it's the proteins, and that's the only difference in two different companies.
Okay.
Allergan got the trade name for Botox. So, we're going to do a Disport challenge because the company says that 93% they did the challenge, and I offered 200 units or whatever it is, people did switch over and they had like a 93% retainment. So that's going to be cool. We're going to try that. But I have been to Scottsdale recently. I was with Jennifer Prince, Dr. Sean Parsons, plastic surgery, and she is a Allergan instructor. I usually go with Dr. Rajani, Dr. Shinobe. She's really, really good as well. And I went in for Sculptra and very advanced expert level cannula training and all that kind of stuff. And so no one that I know of is doing Sculptra in Yuma. There is a a dermatologist that flies in, I think, from San Diego, but for the most part, that is something that it's very advanced. And what it was is that when it initially came out in the early 90s, I think I was working at the county hospital then, it was for hypoliposis or no fat on the face for HIV patients or AIDS patients.
Okay.
It wasn't HIV, but they were straight to AIDS back then. And so they had very gaunt, so think of that look.
Yes.
No fat on the face. And it was, it's a polylactic acid. They're little beads, and you mix it with a bacteriostatic water. You let it sit for about anywhere from 4 to 6 days. Stir it around. Those dissolve. And when you inject, it's a collagen stimulator. So you build collagen into your face. And so the people that are great candidates for that are very, well, everybody's a good candidate in some area for sculpture, but mainly very hollowed out temples, very thin,
Right across the street.
a lot of sun damage where they're just flattened out, and
like 15.
we have quite a bit of a clientele for that. So that was really exciting.
okay, yeah.
But I wanted to
It's
learn
right
it with the
there,
cannula
just one of
technique
the-
versus the needle technique, and I did both. And I did tear troughs. And the reason why, now tear troughs is a different thing, but let me finish up with sculpture. So sculpture is something that people hate in our society because we're a give it to me now kind of a thing, and I want to see results now. Sculpture takes time. So when I inject sculpture, people look really great for about 2 weeks, and then all that water that I have just injected with those little beads have dissolved and or absorbs. So they I don't see anything, but you just have to wait. So in around week 4, week 6, you start seeing the results, and you start seeing rejuvenation. I wish I should have brought pictures, but then it takes either 1 to 2 to 3 treatments, and the results last. What I love about sculpture is it lasts two years. They do.
So it
they
lasts a
stopped.
lot longer.
Yeah, and they stopped the studies at 2 years, and people were still happy with it. So yeah, and it's a great in conjunction with the PDO threads I do to define areas and lift. And you know that my type of aesthetics is rejuvenation and looking like you are, but just really refreshed and better. So that's kind of my little niche.
And you're the only one that has the training to do that now here in Yuma?
Yeah, yes, I was told that by the rep that sells the product. So yes, I mean advanced training. Anybody see? It's very difficult with a medical spa. And I can understand the companies that sell the product. They can say, "Oh, well, do you have a license?" And yes, you can have the product. But from what I'm told, I'm the only one that was advanced instructed on it. And it's something that is really kind of advanced. It's not like your typical filler or Botox. It takes a lot of training. So the other thing we've been doing, and Dr. Rajani and I went over and over about tear troughs. So everybody doesn't like underneath their eyes. And what I learned is who is a good candidate and who is not a good candidate for that, and you need to be realistic about that. So I've been doing quite a few of those, and those turn out really nice. The problem is nobody can be in agreement on what to put into that area. And there's 9 different types of fillers, and we start talking about G prime and HA, that kind of stuff, and it's like what's going to go there that looks good. So I've seen terrible ones. Rarely do I see good ones. So we did find there was a consensus, a bunch of docs talking, and they did say that they did like Restylane and they did like Velour. So those are 2 different companies, Allergan and Galderma. So I used Restylane, I used Velour, and there's a Silk done. So those are 3 different ones, and it actually is really pretty if done right and small amounts.
And
so
that's the importance of going to someone like yourself or your staff at Monty Skin Centers, because done right is the key phrase.
Yes, and in fact, I'm just watching. I'm on the board of nursing. I told you that before. We're having March 6th, a very big, important, where we're presenting a guidelines of standards of static nursing to the board. Joey Weinheimer is president of the board, and there is a 30% growth in medical spas, and so they're popping up everywhere. So basically, if you're an RN or a nurse practitioner or a doctor, you can inject, and you can go to a couple classes and inject. It doesn't make you an injector or a good injector. So it's really pays to look at their work,
Do your
research, and I enjoy it. I love it, and I'm told I'm good at it. But I've worked really hard at it, and it's just something that I have a passion for. And I think that's another thing. It's March 6th is going to be a big defining day because a lot of the guidelines that we use now, like nitrous oxide for analgesia instead of anesthesia, nurses can do. However, the only protocol we have is for mother-baby. So when mothers go have babies and how we administer the nitrous oxide, but this is in a spa. So we're changing all that. It's just a growing field. And M.K. Maloney, or Mary Kay Maloney, is the head on that board. And so she's doing great things. And I'll be up there March 6th presenting it to the board.
And we'll definitely need a follow-up after that just to see what
it's
things happen.
Huge. Yeah. This is a huge time in history for aesthetics. So, yeah, especially for the RN role. The med spa, and when we say med spa, people remember that medical spa is totally different than a spa. So yeah, we're doing medical procedures and stuff like that.
And you did mention to me briefly, Melanie, that you're going to be having something available for Botox soon. A special?
Oh yes, just it's funny because people ask me and for good reason, but Yuma is always get calls. How much do you have a special? And the way we get specials too is by the company that we'll be in contact with our rep and stuff. So we are going to be doing a limited Botox where you purchase a syringe of Voluma. This is for facial rejuvenation on the cheeks, nasolabial folds, and the chin, and you'll get, for every box, you get 10 units free of Botox. And so if you buy 2 boxes, you get 20 units, and that's about $200 savings, 200 units.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's really a great, I was like, thank you. It was great thing. I love to, I mean, like Casey says, you just would give it all away, but because I love making people feel better about themselves. It's just one of my passions.
You can tell, and that shows through in your work.
Thank
and just
you.
How you
That
deliver.
my kids and dogs.
And your training. I mean, because you do go out of your way to get the advanced training in all of these special areas, and that to me is peace of mind, because this is our face we're talking about here. This is what everybody sees, and you see so much nowadays. I mean, with shows like Botched and things, you see so
I don't
many
watch
horror,
TV, but I get
so
to
many
watch
horror
stuff.
stories.
Yeah, and it's another thing is I do teach aesthetics. I also teach how to do aesthetics, and you do need to know your anatomy. You do need to know what you're doing, and you don't. And I told you the last time I was here, there was a big Dr. Shino Bay was doing a big thing on people from Colombia and South America injecting collagen and what was happening with that. Basically, you're injecting damaging stuff that's causing horrible injuries. And so those
and the injections are being done by people that don't know what they're doing either.
No, but and Botox parties are illegal. I don't know if people really know that. So I get that all the time. Can we do a Botox party? No, you can't, because you need to be in a medical spa under the licensed, like Dr. Bass is my medical director. So my licenses and his license are on the line, and our malpractice insurance is.
They're regulated, and you're in a sterile environment.
And you're in a sterile environment.
There
So
you
if you're having a couple glasses of wine and you're having a Botox party, I don't think you're going to be sterile and really in a good. It sounds like fun, but it really isn't a great idea. So yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
No, our guest today, Melanie with Avanti Skin Centers of Yuma. You can find them on social media. You also have a website.
That I've been told is not working right now because we revamped it, but you can try it. Yes, Creative 2, I remembered that, is redoing our webpage. And so we're going to be having everybody's pictures and what they do and up-to-date things to punch and stuff like that.
Well, they can also find you on social media.
We're on Facebook, Avanti Skin Center Yuma, and we do have an Instagram that is mostly not. So,
Stick with Facebook.
All right. Thank you so much, Melanie. Great information as always. Now, we do have a couple updates here. There has been an accident, I believe a semi carrying cattle tipped over at Paloma, and there are cattle all over the freeway. So try and avoid that area. You're going to experience some delays. And because I already have received an inquiry from someone involving Cibola High School this morning, the high school district has provided information. Cibola High had a fire drill this morning between first and second period. Now, there was some confusion online because there's also a Cibola in New Mexico who allegedly had some threats made against them. A local parent drove by Cibola and saw the gates were locked due to the drill, and that led to some speculation and fears. But the high school district says, in short, Cibola High in Yuma had a fire drill. They were not on lockdown and currently is business as usual. So we wanted to share that with you as soon as possible.
Yes, keeping those kids safe.
That's right. All right, thank you again so much, Melanie, today, and Paul Rodriguez for giving us a call. Check him out at that comedy show on Saturday. We will see you tomorrow for Cat Shirt Friday here on Z93 Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com. Don't forget, you can always catch us on Facebook Live also. And we are going to take, on the contest line right now, the third caller at 3430993 for the pair of tickets to the comedy show. You have to be at least 18. Caller 3430993 for rules. Visit MonsterMediaYuma.com. Z93 and Outlaw Country. We will be here tomorrow morning bright and early at 9 o'clock. KCYK Yuma and KLJZ Yuma.
So I guess I'm out of the loop.
Call! Caller 3430993.
I couldn't even remember after she said it.
Give us a second. We'll take our selfie. We'll see.